Namaste and welcome to Ragamala. You're in Raga Parichaya, our educational series on ragas, appreciating and understanding them better through beautiful compositions composed over the ages. In today's session of Raga Parichaya, we are discussing the scale congruent ragas of Puriya, Marwa, and Sohni. In the beginning, students, musicians, often feel tossed in the cross currents of the three ragas until the ragas take firm root in their minds by way of the chalan. What better way to internalize the chalan than through beautiful bandishes handed down through the ages? So we prevailed upon our dear friend Sanjeev Chimmalgi from Mumbai to discuss this axis of ragas today with us. He's had quite some time thinking about these ragas, performing them, even studying the South Indian counterpart corresponding to this scale. He is joined by his Saath, Onkar Shenoy and Anuja Panchal on vocal Saath, Tejovrush Joshi on the tabla, and he will introduce his narrative as he goes. Over to Sanjeev ji in Mumbai.
Namaskar. A warm welcome to all of you on the other side of the camera from all of us on this side of the camera. I would first of all like to thank and congratulate Ragamala for having conceived of this beautiful concept of Raga Parichaya, which endeavors to bring out the beauty of a raga through a variety of compositions or bandishes as they are known. Bandish is actually known as the gateway to the raga. So the more number of bandishes you know in a rag, it actually it enhances your boundaries of your concept of the raga. So पुराने ज़माने में कही जाती थी ये बात कि जितनी ज़्यादा बंदिशें गाओ, जितनी ज़्यादा बंदिशें जानो, उतना राग जान सकते हो. So congratulations to Ragmala once again. Today I'll be taking a fascinating trio of ragas from the Marwa Thaat or Mela. The Marwa Rag, which is the Ashray Rag of Marwa Thaat, actually drops the Pancham, and this is probably the only only Ashray Rag of a Thaat which drops a note, especially an important note such as the Pancham. Usually you will find all the Bada Rags to have either the Pancham or the Shuddha Madhyam. You know, there is something you need to hinge upon for a Rag because of the Shadaj Madhyam Bhav and the Shadaj Pancham Bhav, which are same, because if you make the Madhyam as Sa, then the Sa becomes Pancham. So usually you will not find a major raga not having the Pancham or Madhyam. Shuddha Madhyam, I mean. So this rag completely drops the Pancham. So it becomes a hexatonic scale. And to imagine that this scale has existed in the Hindustani music world for almost 400 years now. You find the oldest reference in Lochan's work of Raga Puriya, which is a part of the Marwa Thaat. Now this Marwa scale of 6 notes gives rise to not 1, 2, but 3 different rags, and which you can say are an important constituent of today's performing stage ragas. The 3 ragas are Puriya, Marwa and Sohini. All of 3 are very beautiful, important ragas. They are starkly different. Now what makes these ragas so starkly different? It is the movement. Each raga has a different movement. That is, we also call it the phraseology or the sangatis. They have different nyasa swars. or Vadi Samvadis. That the stressors are different, and they also have different gait. That's each of them has a different gait. The the movement is different. I will elaborate upon this when I take individual rags. We will start with Rag Puriya first. Actually, this session was supposed to be only for Rag Puriya, but I thought, what's the point in taking a rag like Puriya and not touching upon Marwa and Sohini? So then we decided to make it into a Puriya-Marwa-Sohini cluster. So we take up Puriya. Puriya is a big rag. It's a Alapi Pradhan rag. It is elaborated in the Mandra and the Madhya Saptak, that is a lower and the middle octave. The Gandhar and the Nishad are the Vadi Samvadis of this rag. This is also known as a Paramel Praveshak rag. Paramel means male is the thought. So a rag which points towards the next thought in the raga, the time cycle theory, the raga time cycle theory. So the next thought after this comes Kalyan. So Puriya is a rag which shows the finger. Because of his Gandhar Nishad prominence, it shows the finger towards the next thought. That makes it a Paramela Praveshak rag. And not Marwa, because Marwa the stressors are different. Marwa is a Sandhi Prakash rag. This is also a Sandhi Prakash rag, but it's also a Paramel Praveshak rag. And hence, this is sung also during the Sandhi Prakash, that is the twilight time of the evening. But in practice, it is actually sung as a early night raga. You will find people singing it at 8 o'clock in India, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. So here's Puriya for you. I would start with a short rendition. Just a little disclaimer, this program is not a pure performance. It is it falls in the category of what you call as edutainment. So don't expect elaborate treatment of the rag or bandish from me. Maybe just illustrative. Some places I may just sing the sthai or whatever important aspect of a bandish that is needed to prove the point that I am trying to make. So here's the Rag Puriya for you.
Ah
सबई बातन में करत चतुराई गुण गुणवता सब करत चतुराई पिया गुणवं सब ही बातन बातन में एक गुण नाई गुणना एक गुणना मोह में रंगीले जेत करता चतुराई गया गुण गुणवंता सब बादना सदिन करत चतुराई व्यया गुण वंता व्यया गुण गुण सब तन में जदिन करत चतुराई करत रहत चतुराई पिया गुण गुण गुणवंता गुणवंता सब पादान में निज दिन करत चतुराई पिया गुण गुणवदा गुणवंता सब ये माद न में निज दिन कर तर चतुराई पिया 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 गुण कराई पिया संग रगरलिया मैं कराई पिया संग रगरलिया कराई पिया संग रगरलिया मैं कराई पिया संग रगरलिया मैं कराई पिया संग रगरलिया कराई पिया संग रगरलिया मैं कराई पिया संग रगरलिया मैं कराई पिया संग कराई पिया संग रगरलिया मैं आली जात पना घट की गल में आली जात पना घट की गल में कर आई पिया संग रगरलिया कर आई पिया मैं कर मैं कराई पिया संग रगरलिया मैं आली जात पन घट की गल मैं कराई पिया संग कराई पिया संग रगरलिया एक डर है मोहे शासन नदी को एक डर है मोहे शासन नदी एक डर है मोहे शासन नदी को एक डर है मोहे शासन एक डर है मोहे शासन नदी को दूजे तारनिया जेठनिया सतार निस दिन प्रेम पिया की बात मैं कर आई पिया संग रगरलिया मैं कर आई पिया संग रगरलिया मैं कर आई पिया संग रगरलिया कर आई पिया संग कर आई कराई पिया संग रगरलिया मैं कराई पिया संग रगरलिया आली जात पना घट की गल मैं कराई पिया संग रगरलिया कराई पिया संग रगरलिया मैं कराई पिया संग रगरलिया पिया संग गरलिया एक डर है मोहे सासन नदी को एक डर है मोहे सासन नदी को दूजे दोरनिया जेठनिया सदा दूजे दोरनिया जेठनिया सदा दूजे दोरनिया जेठनिया सदा निसद्य न प्रेम पिया की बात मैं कर आई पिया संग रगरलिया कर आई पिया संग रगरलिया 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 So this was a relatively short presentation of Raag Puriya considering the time constraint that we have, and this probably will be my longest presentation. After this it's just going to be illustrative. So here I want to highlight two aspects of how a bandish works in the classical music, Hindustani classical music presentation or even practice. There are two aspects of the bandish. One is the mukhda, which is the phase, which is the first part of the bandish, which either starts on the sum or starts and then comes onto the sum in case of a vilambit especially. Now the mukhda is a part of the bandish which is repetitive, which keeps coming all through the presentation of that bandish. The rest of the bandish is the maina of the bandish, the content, the other content of the bandish. So the rest of the bandish, usually you sing it once, twice, and that is mostly used to get ideas about how to elaborate. But the mukhda is the one which actually dictates how you land. In our music there is a term called jana ana. You know, jana ana is the most important aspect of our, how you start, how you move around, and how you come back, how you land. A pilot is first taught landing simulation. Otherwise, if he takes the flight up and he doesn't know how to land, there's going to be a crash. So this landing is very important. The mukhda determines how you land. So the mukhdas of the bandishes are very important. So I have selected bandishes for you which have different types of mukhdas. There's also one more concept where a good musician and a well-trained musician will select compatible bandishes for a vilambit and drut presentation. They are known as jod. So ये बंदिश, ये विलंबित बंदिश गाई तो इसकी मैं जोड़ गा रहा हूँ, ऐसे बोलते हैं. तो कोई भी बंदिश किसी भी बंदिश की जोड़ नहीं होती है, उसी राग में होगी तो भी. Like I sang पिया गो नव मकराई पिया संग रंगरलिया. So these both bandishes, the mukhdas match. Also some part of the other elaboration, other part of the bandish also matches. I will, to cite this example, I will demonstrate a couple more bandishes in Puriya, a vilambit and drut combination, which highlights this aspect of how a jod is selected for a particular vilambit bandish. So there is another popular paramparik bandish by Sadharan, Pyare De Gare Lagu. So that I will combine with another bandish by Acharya Sri Krishna Ratanjankar ji. See how they match. This will be very short. प्यार दे झुमरा प्यार दे कर ला जा सुख के तेवार गया जब प्यार दे गरला. Now the jod for this could be Mana ji mana murjhai ye nari, 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 mane na lakh manai ye mane na lakh manai ye mane na lakh manai देखी न ऐसी गुमान भरी नारी मन जी मन मुरझाए नारी मन जी मन मुरझाए. Puriya is a rag which is quite flexible in the way it moves. It can also move in a vakragati. It can also move this way, a little more straighter. So this is an example of how it moves straight. Mana ji mana murjhai nari, mana ji mana mana ji mana 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 ji mana murjhai nari, mane na lakh manai देखी न ऐसी गुमान भरी नारी मन जी मन मुरझाए. पिया सोलर पछताई ल जाई, पिया सोलर पछताई ल जाई, कह न पावत अपन मन की अब, कह न पावत अपन मन की अब, लिए दिए को बर पाया नारी मन ही मन मुरझाए नारी मन ही मन मुरझाए. Another bandish. So far you have seen Mukda on the Madhyam, the Mandra Saptak Madhyam, as well as the Nishad, the sum on the Nishad. Now this is a bandish which kind of gives a little nudge to Puriya. It extends Puriya's boundaries. This is a Shadaj Pradhan bandish. Puriya is a rag where not as an Aro, but in terms of movement, you tend to avoid the Shadaj. So इसे लंघन कहते हैं, Shadaj का लंघन करना. And then after a few alaps, then you resolve back into the Shadaj, creating a very beautiful and blissful aesthetic. But this is a bandish which starts on the Shadaj. The sum is on the Shadaj and it's Shadaj based. Not just that, it also brings in a bit of the Hindolang, that swinging movement, especially in the Mandra. And see how these two bandishes also go together. This as well as the bandish I'll be singing as a jod for this. Tilwada. Sugarava Gabu Savabi Didara Bakasapya Pyara Zuharavana Gavu Savamila Didara Bakasapya Pyara चोगर बना सपने में आए सपने में आए सपने में आए. People sing it in different ways, this bandish. That is known as Path Bhed. You'll find Divi Paluskar ji singing it sapne mein aaye, or in Bhatkhande Paddhati sapne mein aaye. But this is the way my Guruji taught me, and it brings out this aspect, this swinging aspect of the hindol in this. सपने में आए सपने में आए फिर जपते मोरी माँ शौक चैन की कल उगर गई रे सपने में आए सपने आए शोक चैन की रे में आए पीर जपते मोर माँ शोक चैन की रे कल उगर गई रे सपने में आए हूँ जो चहूँ सदा रंग कई हूँ जो चहूँ सदा रंग कई भेटन को माये पकड़ ना सकी मैं घर घर गई रे सपने में आए सपने आए. So here you saw how Mana Hi Mana Murjhai has a little more straighter movement than say Main Karai Piya Sangrang. In fact, I was just speaking to Satyashil Kaka, Pandit Satyashil Deshpande ji, and he was highlighting this aspect of Fayaz Khan Sahib's bandish. एक डर है मोह सासन नदी को दूजे दारनिया जेठनिया सतावे. So this Vakra roop of this movement was kind of ignored for a long time, especially since this rag became a famous Kirana Gharana rag. They seem to revel more in the Nyasa Sur, and this kind of movement got lost. So this was a revival of that by Fayaz Khan Sahib, is what Satyashil Kaka told me. I thought this will be useful information. Now Mana Hi Mana Murjhai makes the rag a little more straight. Now the bandish that I'm going to present has an even more straighter approach than even Mana Hi Mana Murjhai. This bandish is composed by Pandit Jasraj ji. Unfortunately, we just lost him this year. He will always be with us. Pandit Jasraj ji has a special place in my mind. He was the one who witnessed my Ganda Bandhan and has given me very valuable insights and advice from time to time. So this bandish he was a tabla player as well in the beginning, part of his career, and this bandish highlights that command over tal, or that he could conceive this kind of a bandish which appears at the onset like a teen tal bandish, but it's actually a jhap in double time. So I hope you like this. And this bandish is also more straight than Mana Hi Mana Murjhai. Avatar bin kun mori rakhe laaj अवतार बिन कुण मोरी राखे लाज अवतार बिन कुण मोरी राखे लाज अवतार बिन कुण मोरी राखे लाज थे तो तेज महान कहाँ थे तो तेज महान कहाँ तिमिर हरो महाराज अवतार बिन कुण मोरी राखे लाज अवतार बिन कुण मोरी राखे लाज जिन जिन पाए तीन तीन पाए जिन जिन ध्याये तीन तीन पाए जिन जिन ध्याये तीन तीन पाए मोह पे विपदा बड़ी बारे जस सरत नहीं आज अवतार बिन कुण मोरी राखे लाज जिन जिन ध्याये तीन तीन पाए मोह पे विपदा बड़ी जस समरत नहीं आज अवतार बिन कुण मोरी राखे लाज. Another different mukta from Ramarang, Pandit Ramashray Jha, sub of Allahabad, the true Gadha Vidwan of our ages. Sure, this sum is on the Madhya Saptakni. You rarely find that. Charan Turiyayi Maharaj, Charan Turiyayi Maharaj, Charan Turiyayi Maharaj, रख लीजिए लाज आज मोरे तन की रख लीजिए लाज आज मोरे तन की शरण तोरी आई महाराज शरण तोरी आई महाराज. To round up the session, I will present 3 Ektal compositions. All of them have the sum on the Tivra Madhyam, the Madhya Saptak Tivra Madhyam. And all 3 are unique in their own. You'll find the Nima or the Remus phrase in Guruji's Bandish, Sunari Area Jamaica. And then 2 Taranas, one by Krishna Bhattji, the first one, and the second by Baban Raoji, Pandit Sri Krishna Hardankarji. They have their own beauty. I may talk while I'm singing. सुनरी रियाज मैं का सुनरी रियाज मैं का सुनरी रियाज मैं का सुनरी रियाज मैं सुनरी रियाज मैं का सुनरी रियाज मैं का पाई संदेशा पिया को पाई संदेशा पिया को आगम की बात सुन रे आज मैं का सुन रे आज मैं का शुभ दिन शुभ सगुन भये शुभ दिन शुभ सगुन भये सपना मोहे दरस दिए, सपना मोहे दरस दिए। बिगड़ी मोरी नींद जागी, बिगड़ी मोरी नींद जागी। बैठी हूँ सारी रात सुन रे रियाज मैं, सुन रे रियाज मैं सुन। तानु तनन तन दिरना तन तदा तानि तानु तनन तन दिरना 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 तानु तनन तन दिरना 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 तानु तनन तन दिरना तानु तानु तान तान तानु तनन तन दिर तान तानु तनन तानु तनन तानु तनन तन दिरना तन तदार्धानि तानु। कृष्णा भट्ट जी का तराना। तानु तनन तन दिरना तन तदा तानु तनन तन दिरना तन तदार्धानि दिरना तदिरना तदिरना तन तदार्धानि तानु तनन तान तान तानु तन तान तान तानु तनन तन दिरना तन तदार्धानु तनन तनन तन दिरना तानु तन दिरना तानु तनन तन दिरना तन तदार्धानि दिरना तदिरना तदिरना तन तदार्धानि तानु तनन तन dim tadim tadirana dim tadim tadirana dim tadim tadir dim 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 tadim tadirana tanana tanadirana tadani dim tadim tadirana tanana tanadirana tadani dirana tadirana tadirana तन तदार्धानि तानु तनन तन दिरना तन तदार्धा dim तनन तन दिर तन दिरना तन तन दिरना dim तनन तन दिर तन दिरना तन तन दिरना dim तनन तन दिर तन दिरना तन तन दिरना dim तनन तन दिर तन दिरना तन तन दिरना dim तनन तन दिर तन दिरना तन तन दिरन दिर दानि दानि तदारे दानि तदारे दानि तदारे दानि यलली यली यललूं dim तनन तन दिर तन दिरना तन तन दिरना dim तनन dim dim तन dim तनन तन दिर तन दिरना tanana derana dim tanana tana derana derana tana tana derana dim tanana tana derana derana dim tadare dani tadani dim tadare dani tadani dim dim tanana tadare dani tadare dani tadare dani धागड़नग धुमगड़नग धित्ता तिडगदग दिगन धा तादा तिडगदग दिगन धा तादा तिडगदग दिगन धा तादा dim तनन तन दिर दिर तन दिरना तन तन दिरना dim तनन तन दिर दिर तन दिरना 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 Wasn't that beautiful? Exciting. Exciting tarana. I'll round off my Puriya session with an unconventional bandish by a maverick musician, one of the greatest musicians. There are few musicians who are known as the Yuga Pravartak Gayak, who have impacted the generations to come after them. Pandit Kumar Gandharva. Some texts indicate that Puriya used to be sung with the Komaldha. Now here Kumarji uses that as a reference and uses the Komaldha using the basic Puriya dhun, and the way he has beautifully stuck to the basic Puriya dhun. He has not done much at all. Just the basic Puriya dhun he has sung, and that too the Komaldha is just a touch. It almost doesn't sound like Komaldha. But he just touches upon it. I found this quite unique. So here's Sanjani Jao, Kumarji's Bandish. Sanjani Javori, Javori, Sanjani Javori, Javori, Sanjani Javori, Javori, Sanjani Javori, Javori. ये जो सुरख रूप तेरो है, ये जो सुरख रूप तेरो है, आज मेरो मन हरली मुरी, संजानी जावोरी, जावोरी, संजानी जावोरी. मोतियन कुहार ले आई, मोतियन सुहार ले आई, लाल बिच सोए, लाल बिच सोए पैर लरी, संजानी जावोरी, जावोरी, संजानी जावोरी. Sanjani Ra, as Satyashri ji calls it, Chada Komaldha. Sanjani Javon, Javon, ये जो सुरख रूप तेरो है, आज मेरो मन हरली मुरी, संजानी जावोरी, जावोरी.
मृदुरेखा गमदनि देवर मेल, मृदुरेखा गमदनि देवर मेल, मृदुरेखा गमदनि देवर मेल मिलाय, मारवारा बिन पंचम धर समवाद, वादिनीत मधुर मृदुरेखा गमदनि देवर मेल मिलाय, मारवारा बिन पंचम धर समवाद, वादिनीत मधुर मृदुरेखा गमदनि दे, गमदनि दे, गमदनि दे मरा.
Wow. Usually Lakshan Geets are teaching and learning fair in Hindustani classical music, but this is one Lakshan Geet by Anna Sahib Ratanjankar, which I find this is also performance material. So right now you heard two of my students, Omkar Shanai and Anuja Panchal, present this in Raag Marwa. I also take this opportunity to introduce this lovely looking tabla player who is very dear to me, Tejavrush Joshi. He's seen with quite a few performing artists today on the stage He's coming up very fast. So moving to Rag Marwa, the focus moves from the ga and ni of Puriya to re and dha. And see how much difference it makes. So, this phrase becomes re ga ma dha ma ga re ni da ni re sa. So the focus has moved to re and dha. The notes become more khada. So the things that happen, the sliding movement that is so prominent in Puriya becomes more. You use more standing notes, and the movement is also like that. It's not as if you don't sing means at all in Marwa, but the nature is such. The gate also becomes little faster than Puriya. It also becomes a more madhya saptak oriented rag, though you can have equal forays in the mandra as well as the tar saptak, but you'll find the old bandishes, if you study, you'll find most of them in the madhya saptak. So I'm going to present a couple of traditional bandishes for you of the Marwa, which used to be sung mostly in the Madhya Saptak. Piya more anat desa gailava and bola na bina. There's one more trivia I would like to tell you, that there was a debate whether Marwa should have dha as its wadi or re as its wadi, because dha is equally important, or rather most old time singers would start their rag straight away with the dha. This is the way they would start this rag. But if you make dha as a wadi, then it kind of breaks the rule that most evening ragas have purvanga vadis. So probably because of that reason, the Vadi note was kept at Rishabh. So here is brief presentation of Marwa, Piya More Anant Desa Gailava and Bola Na Bina Kalva. Piya more desa gailava na janu kavalo piya more nata desa gailava na janu kavalo piya more sa gayla piya more देख मोर पिया मोर पिया मोर बोलन बिन कबहू माँ 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 बोलन बिन बोलन बिन कबहू चैन नाई परत बिहरवा जो चाहे रत आवे माँ बोलन बिन कबहू माँ बोलन बिन कबहू माँ बोलन बिन बोलन 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 बिन कबहू माँ बोलन बिन औरन संग तुम भलाई औरन संग तुम भलाई प्रीत करो हमरो रंगील हमें बोलन सोना माँ बोलन बिन कबहू माँ बोलन बिन बोलन बिन कबहू बोलन बिन कबहू बोलन बिन बोलन बिन कबहू बोलन बिन कबहू चैन नाई पर बिहरवा जो चाहे रस आवे माँ बोलन बिन कबहू माँ बोलन बिन बोलन बिन बोलन बिन कबहू So this is a typical Gwalior Anka Marwa. There was a time when Marwa was sung in this busy manner. But there is another Yuga Pravartak. A Yuga Pravartak means person who has impacted the generations to come after him. This Yuga Pravartak singer is Ustad Amir Khan Sahab. He completely changed the complexion of Marwa. Shifted the focus from Madhya Saptak to the Mandra Saptak. So Piya More this became Piya More So he completely and he did it so convincingly that this became the face of Marwa after him. Most of the singers follow this format. My Guruji Pandit C.R. Vyas ji has also composed a Vilambit Bandish on these lines. जान गुनी मान करले ध्यान अपने गुरु को रटता हरि नाम जान गुनी मान. And Ustad Amir Khan Sahab composed a beautiful Drut composition. I think this is one of the finest Marwa compositions. I'll sing that for you. Guru ben gyan na pave, 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 Guru ben gyan na pave. मन मूरख सोच सोच काहे पछतावे, गुरु बिन ज्ञान न पावे. मन मूरख सोच सोच काहे पछतावे, गुरु बिन ज्ञान. धम धम गर नि ध नि ध, गुरु बिन ज्ञान. धन रे ग म धम धम गर गुरु, धन रे ग म ध धनि रे ध, धम धम गर ग गर नि ध, गुरु बिन ज्ञान. नि नि ध रे नि ग ग रे म म ग ध ध म म ध नि रे नि रे नि नि ध नि ध ध म ग म रे नि ध म ग रे ध, गुरु बिन ज्ञान न पावे. मन मूरख सोच सोच काहे पछतावे, गुरु बिन ज्ञान. सतगुरु की संगत करने, सतगुरु की संगत करने रे ज्ञान. तब गुनियन में गुनी गावे, गुरु बिन ज्ञान. His compositions are so abstract, it's tough to nail it. सतगुरु की संगत कर ले रे ज्ञान, तब गुनियन में गुनी कावे, गुरु बिन ज्ञान न पावे, गुरु बिन ज्ञान. Among the compositions of Marwa that I studied, I found many compositions, but we don't have so much time. These two are quite beautiful and unique compositions. The first one is by Pandit C.P. Rede, Chandrasekhar Rede. Very beautiful, choti jaan hai lekin very beautiful composition. And the last composition I will present for Marwa is Immortal Ho Guniyan Mil by my Dada Guru, Gunidas Urf Pandit Jagannath Bua Purohit. मितवा तुमी सन मोरा लागिलो, मितवा तुमी सन मोरा, ओ मितवा तुमी सन मोरा, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोरा लागिलो, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोर लागिलो, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोर लागिलो, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोर लागिलो, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोरा लागिलो, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोर लागिलो, लागिलो, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोर लागिलो, नेह कैसे छूटे, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोरा लागिलो, लागिलो, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोर लागिलो, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोर लागिलो, नेह कैसे छूटे, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोरा लागिलो, आनंद गान पिया प्राण पपिया, आनंद घन पिया प्राण पपियास लगी, आनंद घन पिया प्राण पपियास लगी, जीवत है यह तो तोरे गुण छूटे, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोर लागिलो, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोरा लागिलो, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोरा लागिलो, तुम्ही सन मितवा 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 तुम्ही सन मोरा लागिलो, मितवा मितवा तुम्ही सन मोरा लागिलो, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोर लागिलो, नेह कैसे छूटे, मितवा तुम्ही सन मोर लागिलो, हो गुनियन मेल हो गुनियन, हो गुनियन मेल हो गुनियन, हो गुनियन, हो गुनियन मेल हो गुनियन मेल हो गुनियन, हो गुनियन मेल हो गुनियन मेल हो गुनियन, हो गुनियन मेल गावो बजावो गावो बजावो, सप्त सुरन के भेद सब मिल बखान, हो गुनियन मेल हो गुनियन, गुनियन सब होत नाई, गुनियन सब होत नाई, गुनियन सब होत नाई, गुनियन गुनियन हो गुनियन सब होत नाई, गुनियन सब होत नाई, गुनियन सब होत नाई, गुनियन सब होत नाई, उनकी चर्चा नाई, गुण की चरचानाई सेवा गुनियन की कीजे सेवा गुनियन की कीजे गुनी दास साची साची हो गुनियन मेल हो गुनियन मेल हो गुनियन बजा There are two major factors which differentiate Sohini from Puriya and Marwa. The first and the most important factor is that Sohini is Uttarang Pradhan. कुछ बुजुर्ग ऐसे कहते हैं कि सोनी ऊपर के षडज से लटका हुआ राग है, completely inverted. And the second factor is that the Shadaj is not avoided at all, both in the ascent as well as descent. So Dhani Reni Dhamaga, this doesn't happen. The Sa is a part also. Madani Zare Sa Nida Sani Maga Gamani Dhamaga Madamaga Reza Ga Da Sa. Others aspects are that it goes as Saga Madani Sa instead of Nirega Madani. Instead of this movement, it's Saga Madani Sa. That's also a feature of morning ragas. So Sohini is actually classified technically as a twilight raga, but of the morning twilight. But these days it is actually sung late night, or even at the end of concerts at night people sing it. But technically it should fall into early morning Sandhi Prakash ragas. And also because of the Tar Shadaj prominence, the other rules become a bit lenient, and it also lends itself to a lot of pukar. It's a very appealing raga, and hence it has been used a lot for semi-classical music, light music, film music. You will find it being used for abhangs. You will find Sohni in many different forms. Usually people don't sing, though there are dhrupas and dhamars as well in Sohini, but you will find people at the most singing Madhyalaya. And I will be presenting one such Madhyalaya Rupak composition, which is almost a permanent feature. If anybody wants to sing Sohini, this composition is sung, and I am very proud that it has been composed by my Dada Guru, Pandit Jagannath Bua Purohit. It's a composition he composed in during a separation from it's in the viraha of his Guru. Chierare Kala Nahi Paaye. The Drut Bandish I will be presenting is also traditional, similar lyrics. Dekhave ko jiya lalachaye. So first I'll sing these two and then maybe a few more compositions. सगरी जियरा रे जियरा रे कल नाई पाए सगरी रे जियरा रे जियरा जियरा रे कल ना पाए ये सगरी रे कल ना पाए जियरा रे कल नाई पाए सगरी रे जियरा रे प्राण पिया मुझसे ए प्राण पिया मुझसे प्राण पिया मुझसे प्राण पिया प्राण पिया प्राण मोसे रूठ रहे भर भर आए मोरे नैना जियरा रे जियरा रे देख बेक जिया ललचाए देख बेको जिया ललचाए देख बेको जिया ललचाए पिया के दरस परी ननद जिया न माने मोरा देख बेक जिया ललचाए देख बेक देख बेक देख बेक देख बेको जिया ललचाए देख जिया ललचाए पिया के दरस परी ननद जिया न माने मोरा देख बेक जिया ललचाए रात सैया रात सैया मोरे सपने में आए रात सैया मोरे सपने में आए रात सैया रात सैया मोरे रात सैया सपने में आए भोर भई पिया के दरस परी ननद जिया न माने मोरा देख बेग जिया ललचाए देख बेग जिया ललचाए देख बेग देख बेग जिया ललचाए देख बेग देख बेग जिया देख बेग जिया ललचाए पिया के दरस परि ननद जिया न माने मोरा देख बेग जिया ललचाए जिया ललचाए जिया ललचाए Sohini borrows its Vadi Samvadi notes from Puriya, but inverted. Puriya as well as Marwa. The Dha becomes the Vadi note of Sohini and the Gandhar is the Samvadi note. So you find many compositions starting on the Uttarang compositions and they have their sum on Dhaivat. I'll be presenting two such compositions. Even Rangana Daro Shamji, the famous iconic composition by Pandit Kumar Gandharva has a similar sum. So this is a Daraspiya composition that I will be singing first, followed by a composition by Pandit Shankar Abhyankar. I will be just singing the sthais for lack of time. And I think the sthai conveys what I want to say. ये द्रुम द्रुमलता ये द्रुम द्रुमलता ये द्रुम द्रुमलता लता ये द्रुम द्रुमलता लता ये द्रुम द्रुमलता ये द्रुम द्रुमलता ये द्रुम द्रुमलता ये द्रुम द्रुमलता लता पता पता जटा जटा अतहि छाए बरन बरन कलियां फूलत आनत रंग सुहाए ये द्रुम द्रुमलता ये द्रुम द्रुमलता ये द्रुम द्रुमलता ये द्रुम द्रुम लता 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 ये द्रुम द्रुम लता लता पता पता जटा जटा अतहि छाए बरन बरन कलियां फूलन अनत रंग सुहाए ये द्रुम द्रुम लता ओ नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए ओ नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए ओ नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए
ओ नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए
ओ नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए ओ नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए ओ नंद लालन
बेगिया मिलता जाए ओ नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए
मिलता जाए नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए ओ नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए ओ नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए
ओ नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए
ओ नंद लालन दीजे दरस करता पुकार गोविंदा गोपाला ओ नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए ओ
नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए
ओ नंद लालन दीजे दरस करत पुकार गोविंदा गोपाला ओ नंद लालन बेगिया मिलता जाए बेगिया मिलता जाए बेगिया मिलता जाए. I'll round up my Sohini segment with a Paramparik Jhaptal composition that I have heard from Pandit Satyashil Deshpande ji. I confess that I have not learnt it. This is what he calls a Do Madhyam ki Sohini. I hope I have gotten it right. And I do hope you enjoy this as well. Ah करम कीजिए करम कीजिए करम कीजिए करम कीजिए खबर लीजिए आसान प्रभु मेरी राखिए लाज करम कीजिए खबर लीजिए आसान प्रभु मेरी राखिए लाज करम कीजिए. The last piece in today's presentation before the Q&A session starts will be the Carnatic equivalent of the Marwa scale, which is known as Hamsanandi. This comes from the 53rd Mela, which is known as Gamanashrama. It's an interesting thing to note that while Puriya traces its history to almost 300-400 years back, Hamsanandi is a recent addition. I mean, when I say recent, it means about 70-80 years. The earliest compositions you don't find compositions in Hamsanandi by the famed Trinity, that is Tyagaraja, Dikshitar, Shyama Sastri, or even some of the older composers. And interestingly enough, the more popular raga from the Gamanashrama Janyas is Purvi Kalyani, which can roughly be equated to our Puriya Kalyan or Purva Kalyan. There is a rag also called Purva Kalyan, which very few, I probably have not heard anybody sing in today's times. But there are bandishes in Bhatkhandeji's book, and there are Anna Sahib Ratanjankar has composed very beautiful bandishes. But so the point is that Puriya Kalyan or Purva Kalyan are not so popular here, and they have not been popular even earlier, like Puriya or Marwa, which is the Ashray Raga of Marwa That. But the equivalent of this in Carnatic is a recent addition, and people use it more as a scalar raga. That's an established practice in Carnatic music, and so this raga is used more as a showcase for one's virtuosic skills. I'll be presenting very shortly. I have had the benefit of learning some Carnatic music from Srimati T.R. Valamuni and Sri S. Balachandran sir. This composition I have got from my brother Sri Ram Parshuram from Chennai. It's a composition by Sri Papanasan Sivan in Tamil language. I'm not very well versed with the language, so I take your forgiveness for any errors in my diction, but I'll give it a try, at least for you to get the flavor of how this same scale would sound in the Carnatic idiom. Tadaril 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 Tarana Tadari 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 Srinivasa Tiruvenkatamudaiyai Srinivasa Tiruvenkatamudaiyai Srinivasa Tiruvenkatamudaiyai Srinivasa Tiruvenkatamudaiyai Jaya Govinda Mukunda Ananta 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 Srinivasa Dina Sharanyam Ennum Pugakonda Dina Sharanyam Ennum Pugakonda Dinayanai Pol Wherever Konda 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 Dinivasa Tiruvenkatamudaiyai Jaya Govinda Mukunda Ananta Srinivasa Jagam Pugarum Yerumalai Mayavane Jagam Pugarum Yerumalai Mayavane Tirumagal Malarmel Mangai Manalane Jagam Pugarum Yerumalai Mayavane Tirumagalarmel Mangai Manalane Jagannatha Jagannatha Shankha Chakradharane Jagannatha Shankha Chakradharane Tiruvadika Bhajam Abhayamaya Jagannatha Shankha Chakradharane
तिरुपति कवजं अभजमया जय श्रीनिवास तिरुवेङ्कटमुदया जय गोविन्द मुकुन्द अनन्त श्रीनिवास श्रीनिवास श्रीनिवास
So our newfound Mridangam artist, Tejarush Joshi, Anuja Panchal, Omkar Shenoy. So off to the Q&A session now.
वाह वाह वाह! Abhinandan, Sanjeev ji, to you and your entire ensemble. I'll let you work out your echo a little bit.
I don't know why the echo is coming. Is it okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as I don't speak.
Are you hearing a talkback?
Yes.
Yeah. Is this better?
Yes. Okay, let's carry on. Um, our tech says that only one channel is working. What is
I don't
it?
know what that means.
Mono.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, all right. So, moving on, um, you may have seen both on Facebook and YouTube what a large number of compliments you have garnered throughout this very thorough presentation. Um,
Thank you.
Speaking for myself, this is a project so close to my heart on behalf of Ragmala. The fact that in addition to presenting concerts, we can also do something to enrich people's music appreciation, ताकि audience को हम तैयार भी करें in a way that's accessible to them. And during the pandemic, when we're all stuck at home in different stages, this is such a welcome um, engagement with wonderful musicians such as you. So thank you also personally from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. And I wouldn't say I'm sorry, but I couldn't keep my presentation down to 1 hour, 15 minutes, or whatever that was the requirement. As Mark Twain said, if you want me to do a 2-hour presentation, I'll do it now. You ask me to speak for 5 minutes, I need 2 months to prepare. Uh, so despite having more than probably more than that time to prepare, the canvas is so wide that I just couldn't keep it down to, but that's how it is.
Absolutely. It's like I said, the personally, the creativity is all welcome. And I wanted to particularly call out that your students, both Umkar and Anuja, contributed very beautifully, sonorously. It shows also how the community of a teacher and a student comes together. So I'm very thankful that you included them. And Tejo Vrish ke bare mein kya kaheं? He has such a steady theka across tals
Yes,
and
yes.
such a nice flow along chalte 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 vocalist के साथ बहुत
It
बधाई
helps that he has music in his genes. He comes from a vocalist family, so that is an added that adds that dimension to him. That he's not just playing with you; he's also listening to you and responding to you. So when such, I always prefer such tabla players who have that kind of a background,
right.
who they bring out the best in you.
Right, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. So, a good session is also one where other musicians come, listen, and get excited to ask questions. सीखने के लिए कि एक दूसरे से सीखने को क्या मिलता है. So, I'm going to lead with a question that was on my mind, but Shashwati Mandalji also asked that. So, let me lead with that. About the Shruti Lagav of Puriya, Marwa, Sohni. It's also one of the hardest things while learning and also while teaching. So tell us a little bit about that. How did you learn it? How do you teach it? Yeah.
This Shruti Lagav itself is what we strive for all our life, कि भाई my Guruji used to say दो सुर में राग दिखना चाहिए. It doesn't mean that you just sing those दो सुर. Those two surs have to be the shrutis of that rag. That is what brings the flavor of that rag immediately. And in the right proportion. Well, there are two ways Shruti Lagav can be looked at. I was once speaking to the Gundecha Bandhus, and they were telling me that in Drupad singing, we have decided Shrutis for rags. इस राग में ये श्रुति लगेगी. तो irrespective of where you approach that sur from, they've practiced in a way where that particular shruti has to be sung. So that's the way they work. Whereas in Hindustani, I believe that the shruti lagav depends on the phraseology. How you approach a certain note, what happens before the note and what happens after the note decides the shruti. And sometimes you might have, it's difficult to really nail or pinpoint that यही श्रुति लगेगी. वो श्रुति लग जाती है अपने आप. अगर आप phraseology सही कर रहे हो तो करते करते, it doesn't happen straight away.
Right.
करते you just as if it just gets polished. And so the Puriya Shruti, as you can see that it starts from the knee. I'll talk of the Rishabh Shruti because that's the key differentiator, both in Puriya, Marwa as well as Sohini. So if you look at the Rishabh Shruti, it starts from the knee and it ends in in Sa usually. So now there are different gharanas, different people who play with this Rishabh differently. Some people keep it so little that it just touches and comes back. And I always felt that notes or surs, there is a 22 Shruti theory and all that stuff, but I personally believe that there is a sur, there is a center point of a sur, and the sur has an aura. And if you stay within the aura of that sur, you are in sur. And you could be singing different shades of the sur within that sur ka aura.
Absolutely. And I think we get the shrutis, sometimes vocalists, we just get it wholesale as part of the phrases.
Yeah.
So when we see instrumentalists actually work on the pinpoint of where in that instrument they have to get that shruti appropriate to the phrase, that's when you realize how hard it is and how much we take for granted.
Right.
Yeah. When you learned it, this presentation actually took me back to
I'd like to finish the point which we were discussing. Yeah, I was just showing. So, this is the Puriya Shruti that we get because of this movement. And similarly, the Marwa Shruti is the Marwa ka Rishabh is actually pointing upwards. Do you hear the difference?
Yeah.
So automatically that movement and where the sur is looking at will determine. And the this Rishabh Shruti is also different because it comes in a different way than it comes in Puriya. I was just demonstrating Sohini. Yeah,
Right,
now I have finished.
right.
Yeah.
No, no, it's good that you went through with your thought. I was saying that it reminded me of a concert that I attended or may have even played the Tanpura for as a teenager in Sangli.
Uh-huh.
Pandits Rajan and Sajan Mishra. And
Right.
they performed Puriya followed by Marwa followed by Sohni. And then in the green room, when I asked them, this is a rare thing and quite a feat. They said, हमने ऐसे ही सीखा,
Oh.
एक के बाद एक के बाद एक." So, can you tell me a little bit about when you learned, whether from you first learned them from Madhav Guriji or later again with Pandit C.R. Vyas, how was your approach to learning it? How did they teach you?
My Guruji didn't didn't talk much about. I mean, though he was very erudite, but he refrained from talking because he would say that गाने वालों को बात नहीं करनी चाहिए.
Huh.
So he would just sing and we would follow. And each of our learning sessions were uh, were like it was like a mehfil. And Puriya, though he taught me bandishes much later. Puriya, he would just do alap and not even go beyond the madhyam. Just touch the dhaivat and pura alap mandra madhyam mein ghanto chalta tha and we would not get bored. There will be listeners also who would be listening and it was just it was like a mehfil.
I see.
So that is how we have learned. And in fact, I would like to add that today we are living in different times and we have to talk about music on these channels so that it gets propagated. So I remember Osho's statement. He says, "I speak so that you can be silent." So like I should say that we speak so that you can sing or you can listen better.
Yeah, a one-stop shop where you can get all of these thoughts and hopefully run with it.
Right.
It's also said that you can gather intelligence from another's intelligence. You can't gather wisdom from another's wisdom.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I applaud the effort that you are putting into making this session, but it's really up to the students out there listening to internalize this and put their own thought into it.
Right.
Baki, here's the question about when you teach, what are the challenges in teaching the darjas of Shruti in these different ragas?
I was once at Satyashil Kaka's Samvad Foundation. We were sitting, and suddenly Pandit Hridaynath Mangeshkar came there. And we were singing, and he just silently was listening to us. Satyashil Kaka was teaching us, and then he somehow took a liking to me. So he started talking to me. He said, "Sanjeev, do you know what do we sing with?" I was young. I didn't know what to say. I said, "Yeah, I believe it's a voice. It's apna gala." I didn't know whether it was an anatomical question or what. I couldn't gauge. So I just kept on fumbling. So he said, "Okay, don't fumble. You know what? We actually sing with our ears, because that is where the calibration of sur happens. That is where the calibration happens. So you actually, when you are practicing, gala is just a medium. You are actually preparing your ear. Gala is a part of physical mehnat, physically getting it ready up to the to express what you want to express. But what happens is this. So that is what should be focused upon, to teach the students to listen carefully, listen in detail, and that's where this sur ka darja and even other aspects, for that matter, of music, they come through, I believe.
Such as tuning of the Tanpura also.
Absolutely. So that's one of the exercises. That's one of the exercises I make my students do. I myself have done that. Though I was not told by anybody to do it, but I would just spend hours tuning the tanpura. I was so interested. I haven't done the javari of the tanpura. It's like all of us are musical, but I believe there are just layers of covering on our listening ability. So we just have to remove that layer by layer by layer. It's a process. I'm also in the process. I'm somewhere. Somebody else is somewhere. So it's a process. The more we start listening intently, the sur starts or the music starts manifesting itself to us.
Very well said. I think that's true that tuning the tanpura creates a Shruti intelligence that then feeds back into your own listening and singing. And in this era of convenient tanpura apps, which are perfect sometimes to use in a short, a festival where you can't spend 30 minutes tuning the tanpura. It has its practical benefits, but on a daily basis, the tuning gives so much to people. Thank you for touching on that. Is there anything else that you feel you didn't cover in this session and you would like to speak about it?
Well, there is so much. I was just discussing with you a little while back that what we have studied in decades, we are trying to encapsulate in a 2 hour session, and it's though it has its utility, it's just so not done.
True.
So there is so much more, but I believe we should leave some things for uh, the listeners to gauge and just develop a sensitivity towards. There are so many things which I have done in my performance. I did a Tero Bhav, I did an Avir Bhav. There are so many things which inadvertently happened. My voice got tired. I'm sorry for that. It was too long a recording session for me to handle, but because it was a recording, live singing is something else, and doing something in front of the camera is so sterile. Now I'm seeing you, I feel like singing now, but
Maybe a post session party where we both do and dishes would be nice.
yeah,
But I think this has done what it needs to do, which is open a window, open a small door to the music appreciation. It can't be handed on a plate, and I'm very glad you got us thinking. Also, you took us across both sides of the Vindhyas. It takes
yeah,
a kind of courage to sing, a music, a language that's not one's own.
yeah. I have been learning Carnatic for quite some time. In fact, my gurus wanted me to perform at the music academy, but I kept on just keeping away from that, and I said, no, I don't want to do something and make a fool of myself. Learning something so alien to your, see, it's a different outlook towards the note and towards the tal. Uh, is something else, and actually going ahead and performing the kind of command it requires, I felt that I did not have that, but I do listen to a lot of Carnatic music. I Since both my gurus are no longer there, but I keep sharing, and I keep talking with my brother. I call him my brother. He's like a Sri Ram Parshuram. He's a guru bhai. He's like a brother to me, very dear. So this composition I actually got from him. Also the little brief that I gave you.
Absolutely. Very appreciated. So, since we're coming up on time, it's reluctantly I have to say goodbye to a
Yes,
conversation that can go on much longer.
it
Thank you
can.
again for gracing Ragmala with your presence
One
and music.
one
Please.
thing I would like to add. I mean, for people who are feeling that we are not, uh, we are that I'm avoiding talking more. It's not just about talking. हमारे विद्वान कहते हैं ये करने वाले की विद्या है. So now the listeners who are students or even the connoisseurs of music, or who want to be a connoisseur of music, it's up to them to reach out a few steps now and try to, because this recording will be available. You can listen to it again, and you're most welcome to contact me personally. My phone number, everything is there on the net, and email is there, so you can just contact me personally if you have some doubts, or if you have some comments, if you have some corrections. I mean, I don't claim to be perfect.
That's very sweet of you, and you actually segued into something I was going to say, which is that this video is automatically saved in our YouTube channel and our Facebook channel. You can revisit it. Oftentimes, Sanjeev ji will see about 5x the number of live audience that we had revisit the video throughout the week. So you'll probably see a lot of comments as well. Um, I would be remiss if I didn't plug in our upcoming annual summer festival, Tarana, which last year we didn't hold because, um, it was the beginning of the pandemic and we were all scrambling to figure out what we can do performance wise. But this year we've decided to go ahead. It will be online. And thanks to our community of patrons and donors, it will be free access to everybody. Please mark your calendars, July 17th. We have a morning concert, Sitar Vadan by Shakir Khanji, young virtuoso and disciple of Ustad Shahid Parvez. Afternoon, we have Khyal and Kundi by Srimati Mitali Bhaumik, accompanied by Sri Kedar Nafide and Sri Amod Dandavate. This is from New Jersey. And our evening concert is a Drupad concert by Pandit Uday Bhavalkar. So, as always, please stay plugged in whichever way works for you, our website, Facebook, and so on. And I guess we'll see all of you on July 17th next. There are plenty of opening acts by local student ensembles. Again, another thing that Ragmala enables while we all shelter safely at home. And
Love, yeah, lovely. I would like to say a couple of words about Ragamala. My first introduction to Ragamala Seattle was in 2008 when I toured the US, and I didn't know anybody there. I just had a reference, and somebody invited Niranjan Mam invited me to sing at his house. Um, so I was immediately so much at home there. They were complete strangers to me. Gangoli ji, and I was so touched by the fact that Gangoli ji brought his own tanpuras, and because there was nobody else to play it, he himself sat and played tanpura with me for. I mean, such a senior musician, musicologist. It. I mean, I was almost in tears when I saw that gesture. And so that you have a beautiful community going there, so keep up the good work.
thank you. Thank you. I was at that Baitak also. And
Yeah.
listening to that was my first live listening. Yeah, you're welcome back anytime. Please consider this home. Plenty of Rasiks being created as we speak. And thank you once again to you and your team for your time for Ragmala.
Thank you,
Namaste.
thank you, thank you. Namaste.